Elon Musk just revealed new plans to build a moon base by 2024. It's time for humans to return to the moon. But there's a difference this time. Tech icon Mr. Musk is not just constructing a lunar base, but also working with the US space agency NASA in order to build and supply it. The base itself is equally groundbreaking, as it will serve as a building block for future space developments. So you want to know more about it? Then stay tuned to the video and watch the video till the end. Hello guys, welcome to SpaceX Live. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications to get new updates about space, Musk, technology, and basically anything about science and development. Hit the like button to show your love. And in today's video, we are going to discuss the moon base, which is being developed by Elon Musk's SpaceX and NASA. And this moon base can serve a lot more than humans can ever expect. And according to Musk, this could be completed in 2024. So without wasting any time, let's begin. The US space agency, NASA, is working to get people back to the moon through its Artemis program, which aims to establish a long-term sustainable presence on the moon and around it by the end of 2024. According to NASA, they will make their first crewed landing of the Artemis in 2024, but in general, experts believe that target is too ambitious, and it's unclear whether the timeline will hold under President Biden. However, Musk, SpaceX's billionaire founder and CEO, believes it is possible with the company's Starship deep space transportation system, which NASA selected as the crewed moon lander for Artemis. After the successful launch of SpaceX's Crew 2 mission, which is sending 4 astronauts to the International Space Station under a NASA contract, Musk said, "I think it will happen. I think 2024 seems likely." He added, "We're gonna aim for sooner than that." Well, nobody knows your soon timing, Musk. However, Musk said that he is optimistic that Starship, a giant reusable rocket spaceship, will be flying people regularly by 2023. He said with a laugh, "Obviously, we need to, not be making craters. Got some work to do, but making rapid progress. We've got to make sure we're accelerating the rate of innovation, and then it could be ready in a couple of years." Here, the craters remark refers to the recent Starship test flight campaign, which has been quite explosive. SpaceX has conducted 4 high-altitude test flights of the Starship prototype at its facilities in South Texas since December 2020. While all 4 vehicles performed well during most of the flight, none of them had a successful landing, although one did touch down in one piece before exploding a few minutes later. All of those flights involved iterations of the 165-foot-high Starship spacecraft. And SpaceX is getting set to take another crack at the Starship high-altitude test flight. The latest prototype, referred to as SN-15, also known as serial number 15, has been undergoing pre-flight checks in South Texas. And this time, Musk acknowledged that his target timelines tend to be optimistic and should be taken with a grain of salt. But the occasion of the news conference offers some reason for optimism, highlighting SpaceX's human spaceflight achievements, while using Falcon 9 rockets and Crew Dragon capsules. SpaceX has now launched 3 crewed missions to Earth orbit in less than 12 months, with Crew 2 on its way to the space station. While NASA plans to send humans back to the lunar surface by 2025 through the Artemis program, which is more than simply a reboot of the Apollo program. Astronauts will practice landing humans on Mars one day by spending weeks on the lunar surface, building a moon base, and practicing technological and operational processes. However, there is already a new and powerful moonshot rocket, the SLS, and a new spacecraft, the Orion space capsule, which is at least 100 times more efficient than the Apollo spacecraft. But despite the delays caused by a legal challenge by SpaceX's rival, Blue Origin, the company is now working on developing an HLS variant of its Starship rocket. NASA's Artemis 3 will bring astronauts to the moon on a retro-style Starship, which is reminiscent of the silvery rockets from the 1950s pulp science fiction novels, but pointing toward the future. Artemis HLS is today's equivalent of the Lunar Excursion Module of the Apollo program. And the plan goes like this. NASA's Orion spacecraft will take Artemis 3 astronauts into lunar orbit, but Orion won't touch the moon like the Apollo Command Module. Rather, Orion will rendezvous with the Starship HLS, and both vehicles will dock at the NASA's Gateway, a small space station planned for lunar orbit. The Artemis astronauts will then transfer to the Starship HLS and then descend to the moon's surface with the SpaceX vehicle, which will serve as their base of operations for 6 days. In the end, the Starship HLS will take the astronauts back to orbit and the Gateway, where they will transfer back to Orion for the journey home. But the HLS contracts have not yet been awarded by NASA for Artemis 4 and beyond, so Blue Origin or other companies might get a chance to return astronauts to the moon, but not before NASA. And when NASA awarded SpaceX a $2.89 billion contract in April to develop an HLS for Artemis, choosing SpaceX's proposal over proposals from competitors Blue Origin and Dynetics. In a document describing the source selection process, NASA explained that cost was a primary consideration. While the space agency would have liked to have contracted with 2 companies, it could only afford one. SpaceX's bid was the lowest among the 3. However, NASA selected its Human Landing System vehicle only in April, awarding a contract to SpaceX. The vehicle will take astronauts from lunar orbit to the moon's surface and back again. So there might be some chances that Artemis 4 would be awarded to SpaceX. Meanwhile, Blue Origin again sued NASA in August, halting the development of the Starship HLS. But on November 4th, Blue Origin lost its lawsuit, so Starship HLS is once again on track, but not on time. So according to NASA's administrator Bill Nelson, who announced on November 9th that Artemis 3 will launch no sooner than 2025, he also attributed the delay to the nearly 7 months lost in the litigation over the SpaceX contract. So let's hope it will get true. But apart from that, the Starship HLS variant is just a variant, not a radical redesign, and SpaceX has already announced some significant changes to its Starship spacecraft. As SpaceX's Starship HLS variant will not land on Earth after launch, it will ditch the typical aerodynamic fins and heat shielding. And as part of the Starship HLS, astronauts and materials will be lowered up and down its 164-foot height via elevators and wide legs for landing on the rocky lunar surface. And operationally, the Starship HLS will launch into low Earth orbit, where it will dock with another variant, this time a fuel tanker, and take on fuel for its trip to the moon. But the Starship tanker variant is still in development. In a social media campaign against SpaceX HLS, Blue Origin criticized the operational complexity of a Starship HLS mission to the moon as requiring up to 10 additional launches to fill up. But Bezos didn't know that Musk is the man of future plans, so if everything goes according to plan, the Starship launch vehicle will nearly double the power of the SLS at launch. And using 33 Raptor rocket engines, the Super Heavy booster will produce 12 million pounds of thrust. Combined with the Super Heavy, with the help of the Starship, more than 100 tons of mass will be able to be lifted into orbit. However, Starship has more cargo and crew capacity than both SLS and Orion combined. And Musk claims that Starship will one day be able to carry 100 people into space, whereas Orion can carry 4 crew members. Laura Seward-Fortzik, the founder of Astrolytical, previously stated that Starship could launch NASA astronauts, carry them to the moon, land them there, and return them to the Earth by using just one vehicle instead of using SLS, Orion, and Gateway. However, NASA has also issued a request for proposals for a fission surface power system for its Artemis mission to put humans on the moon and eventually on Mars. And as a part of NASA and Musk's plans, astronauts will eventually spend up to 2 months living on the moon, which will become a launch pad for missions further into the solar system. But apart from Musk, what do you guys think about this? Let us know in the comments section, and thank you for watching the video. We hope you liked the video. If you did, then leave a thumbs up and also consider subscribing to the channel, and also guys, don't forget to press the bell icon to never miss any updates from us. And we'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace.